I keep pretty close track of the markets to see what's happening, and they've been pretty stable for the last couple of weeks anyhow. The Dow yesterday, less than 100-point change. It's above 41,000. The NASDAQ at just about 18,000, and the S&P at 5,600. It's all pretty good news compared to where we were just, a couple of weeks ago when all those on the left were saying it's going to be the worst April since 1932. Death, destruction, doom. No, none of that. Joining me now, Nick Hopwood, founder and president of Peak Wealth Management. Peak Wealth has been run by Nick for years, helping high net worth individuals and small business owners take care of their money and move forward. Nick, good morning.
Good morning, Steve, and thank you for having me.
The worst April since 1932. I have to put on my dire voice to pull that off. Didn't really turn out that way. In fact, there's been a bit of a winning streak on the S&P 500. Where did April end up? Just give me some reference. Not the worst since 1932. Yes, we were down some, but a lot of it came back, didn't it?
Yeah, Steve. April was slightly down on the S&P. It was up on NASDAQ, up on a global basis, up for fixed income. So many people with a balanced portfolio were actually up for the month. And just yesterday, we snapped a 9-day winning streak, which does not happen very often. In fact, in the last 40 years, it's only happened 7 times. So with that 9-day streak, we're right back where we started on Liberation Day.
So we're at the same place. Well, the Dow was at 44,000. It's at 41,000. So there's still some money missing from the market, but it's not, it's not end of the world stuff like they were selling it over at MSNBC and Chicken Noodle News. But winning streak, apparently Warren Buffett wants to go out on a winning streak. He's retiring, he just announced, isn't he?
Yeah, so he's going to be staying on till the end of the year. We'll see what his role changes after that, but you got to give the guy credit. $168 billion net worth. He's truly a unique individual by any measurement. Drinking Coke, eating McDonald's every day, living in the same house since 1958. But one thing that I think we can learn from him is that he spends almost all of his time reading, and that's something all of us can do more.
Reading. He reads all the time, right? How old is he? He's in his 90s, I know that. And his longtime partner passed away not long ago. So maybe it's time to do, what's he going to do now that he retires, though? He's still going to read, isn't he?
He can, take his trips to McDonald's and Dairy Queen and continue reading. Yeah. But I got to give the guy credit because, one of their biggest holdings was Apple. And they dumped about $600 billion worth of Apple stock onto the markets, pretty much at the all-time high last quarter. So, the guy's he's got that magic touch.
He can sense it. When he was dumping all that, why didn't we follow suit, Nick? Why didn't we pay attention and follow? Yes, I've often wondered about that because he turned a lot of his holdings into cash as well.
Right.
Over the last, before this downturn. He had, not all of it, but he had put, hundreds of millions of dollars into cash, so that took no hit at all.
That's right. They have over $350 billion of cash on the Berkshire balance sheet right now. So you have to wonder, when we see 20% drops like over the last month, why aren't they putting that to work? But, I'm not going to question Warren.
No, he's the oracle for a reason. We don't question his methods or his madness because he has won repeatedly. All right, so from here, it seems that the tariffs are now baked in. There's going to be some relief on that. And if the markets are stable now and some of these tariffs go away, whether it's the EU or Canada or Mexico or maybe a deal with China, I think that one's going to take a bit longer. I think we'll get there. If interest rates come down a quarter point or a half point throughout the year, all of this is going to stimulate the economy. Last week's jobs report was 177,000. Better than expected. Inflation's at 2.4%, better than they predicted. All indicators are that if we get some of these other things to line up, the markets, the investments could, I think, look pretty good, couldn't they?
They could be. However, imagine how you felt a month ago at this time, especially if you were nearly retired or if you are retired, relying on your portfolio for income. We just have this gift of this bounce back all the way back to the starting point. And so if I'm retired, I might be thinking about taking some money off the table and locking in this level for my income over the next year or two. just yesterday, we had a meeting with a client who's retiring at the end of the year, and we've decided to bolster our cash reserves, give them an extra $100,000 of cash in the portfolio, because that's what we think we're going to need from the portfolio next year. So there's no do-overs in retirement. We don't want to be selling stocks when they're down 20%. We'd rather be selling right now if that's the position where you are in your life.
Understood. So $100,000 in cash to be protected. I think I heard this discussion. This might have even come from you. Have your money available for the next 2 years. Know what that is. Protect that. 2 to 5 years, you can take a little risk. And if it's beyond 5, well, then, you can put it in there and not be paranoid about it because it's got lots of time. Because if you had money that was available 5 years from now, looking at it in April, well, yeah, you didn't like what you saw, but you didn't need to panic either, right?
That's right. And Steve, sometimes we might sound like a broken record, but we've been through this: 2001, 2008, 2018, 2020, 22, and now 25. So we have the playbook, right? We just have to follow the playbook. And sometimes the emotions, when it's your own personal money, are overwhelming your decisions. But to have a partner as a CFP, a financial planner, to help you make these decisions and understand where you are relative to your goals, it helps you, kind of see that path and not shoot yourself in the foot.
Right. PeakWM.com if you want to find out more from Nick. By the way, congratulations. You have a partner who's now become a partner, right?
Yeah, we'd like to announce that Jim Pilat, CFP, he joined us in 2018, and now he's a full-fledged partner here at Peak. So congratulations to Jim. We're really proud of everything he's been able to add to the team.
Very nice. Jim Pilat, congratulations. Now a full partner at PeakWM.com. You can talk to Nick. You can talk to Jim. You can talk to those folks. Get a second opinion. PeakWM.com. Use the promo code Gruber. You'll always get a bonus with that. Nick, thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Really appreciate it. There you have it. Nick Hopwood. Always calm and collected, at least on the outside. Never let them see you sweat. We'll be right back.